Good morning, friends. Good morning, nations. Good morning, the house of CCI. As I sit here and I visit with you guys every morning, I realize, in some of our schools, we've had people from many different nations. In some of our schools, we have one school that's called Foundations for Leadership. Today, they had a prophetic day, and they ministered to all the people who were in the school. And I mean, it was something else. I walked in, and they were just being touched by the power of God, words of knowledge, giving things that only God knows about them. I said, one girl walked by and I said, "Hey, does God have your number?" And he says, "Oh yeah, he's got all of them." And it's a God thing. It's true, and it's his life in us. So what we're kind of talking about is we're talking about why would God do this? The first reason is because God is romantic. Second one is that there's great power in holiness and love. The third reason, and this is what we're talking about in our last session together and this one, is that God wanted a family in his image. And so what we begin to understand is that the same way you can look at a baby's room and see messages that are given to that child through the art, through the paintings, through the verses that are written on the wall, through the decorations, through the toys. I mean, there's an incredible thing there that is greater than the child, but he comes to understand as he's in the environment. And so that is one of the things that should happen to you and I. Both ends have been kicked out of our baby bed because God is thinking that we can be like him inside and outside. And so what does that mean? Well, the universe, the pictures on your wall show us that, hey, God is infinitely deep. And the universe shows that by the subatomic structure that is in the universe. They're still trying to find stuff they're calling dark matter. They think it's supposed to exist, but they can't find it. But that looks like it should exist mathematically. But it's so small, but it's so great. And the subatomicness of everything, so wild. But all it really means is there's infinite depth, infinite intimacy for those who have that. God is totally infinite in his love. The only thing about love is like a fountain, is the more it comes out, the more it grows, the more it multiplies. That is the way your Father is. That is the way the love of God is. But at the same time, it's not just infinitely depth, it's infinitely great. Infinitely great. So here, the basic message, if sin hadn't entered the world, this would be a lot easier to understand. But it did. And so the Son of God came, and we dealt with the sin issues. And the thing is now, we're back the way we were always supposed to be. But now, the Spirit of the living God who is in us is now showing us what was always true and is still true about how that God wants a family in his image. And there is no limitations on how deep you can go. And there is no limitations on how great you can go. And one of the things that I was mentioning in our last session was that the universe is so great, but there's nothing to look at it except you. A dog doesn't sit around and think about the universe. An elephant doesn't sit around and think about the universe. They're living under instinct. And I like the example, if you go down the path in a road and there's a hamburger in this forest, a dog will come up to it and he'll just eat it. But a human will come up to it and he'll look, oh, here's a hamburger. Then he'll put his hand on the hamburger, he'll touch it. It's warm. Does somebody know that I'm hungry and they've left a hamburger for me? Or they may think, is somebody trying to poison me and has left a poison hamburger in the road so that I'll eat it and maybe they can get me? And so these are the kind of things that only occur to humans. And they occur to us because of the way God made us. But nothing else is made that way. And so now all of a sudden, it's like you're standing in a room that has one of the most beautiful paintings in the world, and you're the only one in the room, which means you're the only one who can see it. And that is the universe, my friend. The universes, small and great, As you and I, humanity, stand in this room and look, we're the only ones who can see it because its beauty, its power, its depth, its greatness was created for us so that we would understand who our Father is and that we would understand what is in us and is being revealed. Colossians 3:10, you don't believe me, do you? Colossians 3:10, we're being renewed according to the image of the Creator. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. And it's all true. And it's all about you. I wrote a book, and it's called Righteous at Last. And oftentimes people ask me to sign it. And I do. I always sign them if they ask me. But one of the things that I frequently put in there is this phrase: it's all true, and it's all about you. It's all true, and it's all about you. Enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it, because it's all about you.